Scott, did you see Wandale Robinson breaking out like he did, so soon in his freshman year?
We could tell we had a special one in Wandale right away. When he got here last spring, he'd had a couple injuries through spring and fall camp, so I'm not sure we completely saw everything that he could do. But we kind of knew it was a matter of time before he became one of those guys that could be a real weapon for us. It was good to see that happen Saturday.
What was the situation where he approached you and said he wanted the ball? Can you kind of take us through kind of what that was like down there?
Again, we talked all week about our team's response to tough situations since I've been in Nebraska, and it seems like we haven't been at our best in tight spots or when the pressure's on. So that was the message all week. I wanted guys that could keep their heads, stay calm, do their job no matter what the situation. We found ourselves in one of those situations, and 2 or 3 times he came up to me and he said, "I got you. Give me the ball. I got you." And he stayed calm, did his job, and did it really well.
Does that impact you as the play caller to have a guy come up and say he wants the ball?
No, I'm still going to call what I think need to call to make the offense go. He got more touches than we expected because the guy's getting dinged up at running back and was pressed into a little more service there. But he did some special things when we got him the rock.
Can he handle that kind of, maybe not 27 touches, but an increased workload from where he's been early in the season as the year goes on?
Yeah, if he keeps playing like that, we got to try to create ways to make sure he touches the ball a certain amount of times. I don't know how many he can handle, but he's going to make us better.
How much running back, I mean, do you work him a lot, like during the week? Do you work him more now at running back based on the situation?
No, we still need him at receiver. We're not super deep team at that spot, so we need him on the field. And, we're a better team when Mo Washington and Diedrich are on the field too. So we've got to try to get all those guys out there as much as we can. Everybody was good to go today at practice, so he's going to practice mostly at receiver, and he knows the rules at running back well enough to go in if we need him.
A couple different players said Adrian had a look in his eye in that second half. I'm sure you've experienced that yourself and seen it in other players. Coach, how do you identify what got it to there, and how do you keep it in that rhythm?
I don't know. I know he played really hard for the majority of that game. Ran like I expect him to run, with some tough runs and big plays for us, especially down the stretch. You shouldn't ever need anybody to tell you to play as hard as you can, and I don't think Adrian does, but I definitely saw the Adrian that I expected to see for the majority of that game, and I don't expect to see anything else going forward.
Did he let it rip? Because you talked about that the previous week. You just wanted us to let it rip. See that in?
Yeah, I think he needs to understand that it's not always going to be a perfect play, and there's a lot of plays for every offense where it doesn't work out exactly like you expect it to work out, and good players still go make something happen. But you have to be decisive and playing fast to have that happen. And I thought he was a lot more decisive with his reads and took off with it better when he needed to. Still made some really good throws and had a really good game for us.
How well do you know Ryan Day, and with his background tied to Chip Kelly like yours, and are you surprised with how successful he's been as a head coach thus far?
I'm not surprised. Number one, he's got a really talented team. They're good in all 3 phases. They have, I think, future Sunday players all across their lineup. He's really smart. I met Ryan for the first time at a Chip Kelly golf tournament in Maine many years ago. He's done a good job everywhere he's gone, climbed the coaching ranks and landed in a good spot. And there's no question in my mind that Ohio State's a better team right now than they were a year ago.
Did you give me an explanation on the call that got overturned on Adrian from an incompletion to a fumble? We didn't hear anything, and we couldn't hear the ref. Did you get an
No, all I know is what I heard on the field, that they thought the ball was moving in his hand before he threw it. I don't know how much good explanations after the fact do for us anyway. I've gone in search of those a few times, and they might make you feel a little better, but it isn't going to change anything. I can understand watching in slow motion why they thought the ball might have slightly been moving before he threw it. You don't see fumbles go 20 yards downfield very often, but they also called it clear and immediate recovery, which I'm not completely sure I agree with. Our players all stopped and the ball bounced in the vicinity of a bunch of them, and none of our guys reacted to it. I'm not a rules expert, so I don't know for sure, but I'm not completely sure about that one.
Did you know that you could stand out of bounds and the ball would be inbound? It's ruled out of bounds?
I saw that happen in an NFL game a decade ago. Can't remember if it was Westbrook for the Eagles or one of the really good return men in the NFL stood out of bounds and picked up a kickoff. And at the time, 10 years ago or so, I go, what a dummy. And no, the rule is if you're out of bounds and you recover the kickoff, it goes to 35. So the kid made a really smart play. He obviously well coached.
What is your thoughts on the kicking situation? I know it's early in the week, you probably figured it out, but where that stands right now? And
You know, up until that last game, I thought our special teams had made huge improvements. We didn't kick it well at all. Didn't punt it very well. Kicked some line drives that were very returnable in the kickoff game, had penalties on special teams. So we didn't play a very good game in that phase. There's going to be a lot of emphasis put on that this week. Ohio State's the reason they're such a good team, they're really good on offense, they're really good on defense, and they're really good on special teams, and they keep pressure on you in all three phases. So we need to be at our best in all three phases of the game as well.
I know that they have a lot of good players on defense. When you have a guy like Chase Young, how much is that in your mind as a play caller? One particular guy like that, can he change it all? Try to do.
I think he's a creature out there. He physically just looks as imposing as any player that I've seen on tape in a long time. We have to be aware of where he is and do a good job on him. We also can't cripple ourselves by focusing too much on him. So, because there's a lot of other good players on the defense as well. So, we'll know where he is. We're going to challenge our guys to do a good job, try to give them help where we can, and hope for the best.
How do you go about addressing that stuff on special teams? I mean, is it a physical thing with reps and practice, or mental, as you saw some of that stuff snowball in the game on Saturday?
No, the penalties are easy to address. We jumped off sides on a field goal that was important, and we ran out of bounds on kickoff coverage, and those things are easier to address. We need our kickers to hit it better. I thought Pristop did a good job last week kicking off for us, and this week it was out of bounds, and some line drives are very returnable. You can't give good teams those opportunities. So we'll address those things, and Coach DeWitt will address those things where he needs to.
How might your defense having to face Adrian every day in practice help to prepare them for Justin Fields, who's probably the most mobile quarterback you guys have faced this year?
Yeah, I hadn't seen much of Justin Fields. I didn't know how good he would be becoming eligible at Ohio State. He's impressive. He throws it really well, runs it really well. Their offense has been efficient. They got playmakers all over the field to help him. So, he's a pretty special player. We do have a couple quarterbacks that run pretty well and throw it pretty well, so we'll give the best look to our defense that we can and see if we can try to mirror what he does a little bit.
Spielman impressed you not just with his playmaking, but his toughness and kind of willingness to just go across the middle and get hammered?
Yeah, I talked to the team this morning, and one of the things we talked about was some of the guys that showed a lot of toughness in that game. I give credit to Illinois secondary. They were physical in that game, put a lot of hits on our guys and a couple of our little guys. And JD's tough. Wandale took some shots and kept going. It's good to see the heart out of some of those guys.
Scott, how do you keep these guys focused? They've said all the right things today, but as the week progresses and the hype gets bigger and bigger, just keep focused on what is just a football game on Saturday.
Our guys need to learn how to be comfortable in those situations. This is special. Regardless of how this game goes, we're going to play the best we can. I hope we can win. regardless how this game goes, this is a special time for Nebraska. There's some big things coming this week. Game Day hasn't been here in 10 or 12 years. This is a good opportunity to highlight our program, the direction the program's going, the improvement we've made, the path that we're on. It's going to be great to get some national attention in here in Lincoln. And, if we weren't improving, getting better, and going in a really good direction that was obvious to a lot of people, we wouldn't have those guys on ESPN coming into town. So this is special. Our guys need to be able to operate and flourish amidst whatever distraction that brings along with it.
What do you remember about these kind of weeks in your playing career, and how yourself and the guys around you reacted when you had events like this coming to town?
Yeah, and that's why I'm not that worried about the distraction of that. As a player, I never even noticed anything. It was practice in the games. A lot of this stuff is for the fans. People eat it up. The audience at game day is big for a reason, because those guys are the best at what they do. But as a player, our guys certainly are going to be out there on set with Herbie and those guys, so they're going to be getting ready for a game. And I don't think it'll distract our guys or their guys too much.
Will you watch the show Saturday morning, Scott?
Will I watch it? I don't know. I don't know if they'll ask me to be on set. I don't know what's going to happen yet. We have a lot of practice to get through first.
What's
A new black shirt at practice. What did it mean to see JoJo out there finally earning?
Yeah, JoJo probably deserved a black shirt before. We missed him a training camp. Wasn't with his team for part of it, so we didn't feel it was appropriate to give it to him then. But his play on the field has certainly been deserving of a black shirt, and it was good to see him gut it out Saturday. He wasn't 100%, and he went out and played hard and played well anyway, so he deserved one.
What's this week like for you as a coach? I mean, the players are the players, but there's probably additional responsibilities this week for you. How do you approach a week like this? Is it fun? Is it joyful? What is it for you?
It's fun. Anytime, like I said, anytime there's a spotlight on your campus, your university, and your town, I think it's a good thing. If you let it be a distraction, it can be. They'll probably mic me up at practice or something, but I don't raise my voice much anyway, so I don't know how much good footage they're going to get. I don't want it to distract the players. It's not going to distract us. We got a really good team coming in here, and we need to be at our best to have a chance to beat them.
For your recruiting class, what's this week mean, knowing the number of visitors you guys will be bringing in?
Yeah, I think it's great timing with all the official visitors we have coming in. They're going to get to see a show, get to see what Memorial Stadium in Lincoln looks like on a big game day. I think it's good timing. I know the fans are going to turn out. Fans are always great. They're the best in the country. We need them to be at their very best this Saturday and at game day. I expect, with as many years as it's been since game day's been here, I wouldn't be surprised to see us set some kind of record for attendance at game day, and that's just what you expect out of Nebraska fans.
What's the balance like on a weekend like this with the game is your focal point, but also the recruiting aspect that comes with it, and so many guys in town, and talking to them and all that?
Well, that's why we have a recruiting department. They're going to do a lot of that work. Really, the tough time for coaches is on Sunday after the game. We're trying to game plan for the next team, and we have a bunch of visitors on campus. You have to spend time with them. But Saturday is about our players and our team, and trying to perform as well as we can.
Anything else, Coach? Thanks.
Hi, this is Jason Jorgensen, Sports Director at KRVN. Thanks for watching our YouTube video. To keep up to date with everything we have going on with our sports coverage, you can find that, and we love to have you subscribe to our channel. Just hit the little red button in the right corner.